The galaxy was at peace, or so it wanted to believe. For generations, the Unity Concordance had held together more than 50 intelligent species in an uneasy balance, straining, learning, sometimes warring, but never truly breaking. The humans, the newest members, were both a fascination and an irritation. They were clever, inventive, and oddly sentimental, prone to strange rituals and stubborn acts of heroism. Its cities carved into red cliffs, bustling with hybrid life, woke to sirens and distant thunder. Commander Julia Hayes, former asteroid miner and now head of Tarsis Defense, watched as the skies filled with streaks of light and the horizon glowed with the fire of impact. Most thought of them as unpredictable wildcards, always bringing a touch of chaos to order. Julia's team, using mining rigs and improvised signal jammers, scrambled the Harvester's tracking systems just enough for a few ships to break free. Drones ran distraction patterns, sabotage teams set traps in the canyons, and artists projected wild, confusing lits onto the cliffs, tricking the Harvester's scanners. The enemy adapted, of course, relentless, methodical, but each delay, each trick, bought precious time for more refugees to escape. She watched as a group of schoolchildren and their alien teachers blasted skyward in a battered shuttle, surviving only because Julia's team had hacked the nav beacons to show false signals. Ain't the chaos? Julia gathered every able-bodied human engineers, farmers, hackers, even street performers and retreated to the deep caves beneath the cliffs. Julia's eyes went wide. We're not just jamming them, we're confusing them. Vina pushed for emergency sessions, adopt the Tarsis protocol, spread human unpredictability to every threatened world. Make chaos your shield. They can't handle. This there by the light of old fusion lanterns, she made a promise. We will not be cattle. We will not be forgotten. Human unpredictability is a virus, she realized. You can spread it. Their algorithms, built to consume and standardize, had been overloaded by the tidal wave of humanity's messy, beautiful noise. Julia emerged into sunlight with her people, scarred but undefeated. The Concordance recognized what had happened. The unpredictable, emotional, improvisational core of humanity had saved not just their own world, but all others. All across the galaxy, survivors cheered as the enemy fell. They laughed, cried, and told stories of the time when the universe learned. There was one thing no machine could ever consume: the human soul. Music, art, jokes, random acts of kindness and defiance, all calculated to provoke confusion in the invaders. The caves erupted in creativity. Children painted their fears and dreams on the walls. Engineers turned old mining lasers into holographic projectors, crafting impossible light sculptures. Every few hours, the Harvesters slowed, sometimes freezing mid-motion as their processors buckled under the weight of unfiltered human culture. Most insisted on regrouping, on finding a way to negotiate. They'll find a way to make it burn bright and turn ashes into songs. We are not code. We are alive. Will never own us. But a quiet minority, led by a Solarian archivist named Vina, believed Julia's fight might hold the secret to survival. She combed human histories and stories, fascinated by the recurring theme: humans never fought fair. Julia's last stand came at the heart of the planet, in a cavern ringed with luminous art and 100 loudspeakers blaring everything from Beethoven to punk rock. The lead harvester, a towering, many-limbed engine, crashed through the stone. Its claws reached for Julia as she stared it down, daring it to understand. The aquatic Pirellians staged synchronized errors in their information streams. Solarian monks recited human poetry into the void. For the first time, the Harvesters faced an enemy they couldn't predict or assimilate. From the first stone thrown to orbital cyber wars, they thrived when rules broke down. She sent messages to Julia. How are you fighting? What do you need? If this is our last stand, it will be one the galaxy remembers. Tarsis's last city was surrounded. The caves grew crowded, food supplies ran low, and despair threatened to snuff out hope. Slowly, others joined in. Miners, medics, exiles, and even a wounded Solarian diplomat. Their voices echoed through the stone, weaving a melody that transcended language. Someone broadcasted on all frequencies. The signal pulsed through the planet, riding on the same bandwidth the harvesters used for coordination. In the lowest cavern, Julia listened as her people wept for home, for lost families, for the future they'd never see. No one, not even the concordance, was prepared for the harvesters. Most saw it as desperation, a tragedy unfolding. But some, scattered across far worlds, felt a thrill of something else: defiance. They arrived at the edge of mapped space without warning, enormous, silent, biomechanical constructs drifting through the void like nightmares. Their origins were unknown. Their purpose soon became clear. They consumed planets, moons, even ships dissembled, devoured, and left as barren dust. They ignored treaties, languages, and pleas. Concordance war fleets engaged and fell like toy soldiers. Panic swept the known worlds. Humanity's own systems lay on the frontier. The colony world of Tarsis was among the first targets. The initial evacuation failed. The harvesters' gravity webs snared ships as they tried to escape. Her message, broadcast in every concordance tongue, caught the attention of the wider galaxy. The first counterattack wasn't military. In the days that followed, Tarsis became a maze of resistance. Meanwhile, on the central concordance world of Sileria, politicians argued and generals panicked. The harvesters advanced, more relentless than ever. But then something shifted. Child began humming an old song, soft, persistent, full of longing. That night, the machines paused. Sensors showed the harvesters hesitating, even glitching. Vina, monitoring from Sileria, theorized that the harvesters' hive mind, optimized for efficiency and assimilation, could not process collective emotion, chaos, or culture. Armed with this insight, Julia's people began a campaign of psychological warfare on a planetary scale. The concordance, at first skeptical, watched as the harvesters' assault faltered. Across the galaxy, desperate civilizations followed suit. Martian farmers piped comedy shows into their irrigation drones. But Tarsis remained the eye of the storm. With a trembling hand, she opened a comlink and whispered, "We are not data." The harvesters shuddered, spasmed, and one by one began to shut down. In the aftermath, Tarsis's caves emptied into dawn. Vina and Julia met years later at a celebration where survivors of dozens of species gathered. And in the new histories, the message was clear. If the universe throws you into the fire, find a human.